All right, everybody. It is July. We're a little bit into July now. Maybe 10 days or so, maybe 9 days. I don't know what is time anyway. But feeling into this joyous season and to our upcoming full moon, I'm doing general readings on specific categories for the month of July. So we did a general one, just seeing what came up, and it did apply to the love reading simultaneously. And now I think we're going to do one for work, career, that sort of thing. So we're going to check in with the internal feminine and the internal masculine. We got two there. Oh my gosh, this is looking good. We are having some career breakthroughs this month, it looks like, at least internally. It shows me that there's maybe some inner blocks that are maybe being freed. We're tapping back into like our radiant full selves, is what I'm seeing so far. We're going to see how this all relates in the end. Oh, this is going really well. I'm very excited. Okay, all right. Well, I'm not going to argue with it. Okay, so, and lastly, we're going to see how this is physically showing up overall for the shared energy of the two. Okay. This is awesome. I'm feeling some really good things moving forward here. I am stoked. All right, so I'm going to begin. We have the Starlight for the internal goings of the feminine. All right, so this is the Make-A-Wish card, right? This is wishes coming true. This is like, this is really, for me, when I feel the Star card, it really is this like heartful expansiveness where anything is possible, and it is like an aspect of the realization of our dreams coming true. So I feel like a lot of this year has been like a lot of aligning to that and then kind of falling off of that, aligning to that and falling up. Well, we're definitely in alignment time, and this also makes sense. I feel like summertime, if you're in the northern hemisphere, and even in the depths of winter, are such like good times to be in radiance. And even in the winter time, like that radiance is like it's being cultivated and being fertilized, right? So with this Star card, I'm feeling a lot of joy that's going on. Now, look at this. What came up with the masculine sides of us, or what's happening, like all of this, we got the first that came out was the Weaver of Spells. So this is the Queen of Wands, all right, and she is a mistress of creation. She's doing like all sorts of crazy dances with her little spirally beautiful dress, and she is having a great, amazing time. This is good news. And then we have the King of Pentacles, all right. So what I'm really seeing with these cards is quite exciting in regards to our career life or our creative life. Maybe you've just launched a project. Maybe you've got a project that like needs to take off. Internally, this alignment is very strong, and the support of the feminine and the masculine are like totally in balance. This shows me that the masculine is really celebrating like the divinity of the feminine, just celebrating her creative flow, is understanding that there's value in what she does. Now, we did get this in a reading, the 4-part reading I did a couple weeks ago, where I was talking about how how the masculine was coming into an appreciation. It feels like this is the integration. Now, that was more new moon energy, and now we're in the full moon component. So this full moon is like this manifestation of this movement, right? Sometimes full moons are like about the release, right? But it's like, it's the release of the old into the new. I kept saying with the new moon that like, it felt like a full moon because I felt like I was purging stuff versus calling it in, right? But sometimes like this process is, and we've been getting a lot of inversion cards, right? Telling us to reverse our perspective, right? So maybe sometimes the purging is the calling in. One of the videos recently I talked about a little bit of my ayahuasca experience. It feels like I'm being called to tell that story soon in its entirety. But the bigger piece of that is sometimes you have to puke before you get the visions and the insight of the medicine to come through. You've got to clear out the demons so that insight can come through. And I feel like this is this breakthrough energy happening internally, all right? So this shows me that internally we are aligning with our greatest dreams, and this feels really good. Now, the other cards that came up are also like great indications. So externally, how this shows up is the Emperor. these guys are like one in the same, right? Like he's done his aggressive healing so that he can step into his like full like abundance and radiance and all of that. Now the Emperor coming up showing it physically shows me that it's likely that the internal of the masculine is showing up externally to support the feminine in the dance of her divinity, in the celebration of her thing. Now this does come up with the feminine card, which really just shows me that like these are coming into being. All right, if the external energies and what's like coming outward from these internal energies is it's deliberate action, it's well placed moments of play, it's decisiveness and clarity all at once. All right, so that's what's coming through with the feminine. Now with the masculine here, we got the Four of Wands. Now we just got this in the last reading I did with love, I believe. Now there's a lot of union energy in this card. This is a celebration. This is a party. This is 11/11. This is like pillars of light aligning and joining. So I really do feel like the masculine, whether external or internal, is like rejoicing in our celebration. Like these two are dancing on the dance floor and they're having a great time. They're having good. So if this is related to career, it shows me that there's massive breakthroughs. Now, and this is the card of breakthrough, right? The Ace of Swords, it's like cutting through these old illusions and like stepping into these bold, brave new truths. And I think that like oftentimes, you know, we do this inner work, like the world of the heart is like where we cultivate the things like that come through with spirit, right? And then we get into like the swords and the pentacles that are like where we break through those mental barriers that finally allow things to fully manifest. And that is absolutely what I'm getting here from this Ace of Swords. It is just like this really great, like mental clarity, breakthrough, new ideas, success, sharp mind, like this is good stuff. All right. And I'm very excited. I almost don't want to draw more cards, but then I do simultaneously. Okay, so we're gonna just check in with the Lemurian Oracle because, like, I just kind of want to receive a blessing deeper for this reading. So we're gonna ask that the Lemurians come in and bless this reading, bless these principles that are moving forth. All right, and so they're coming from the sky. There's a lot of star energy in this Lemuria. And this feels really good. I'm excited. I'm curious to see like what happens for everybody, what happens for all of us, like what happens for me, like what's gonna go down with this. All right. And then we're gonna do the Shamanic Oracle because we want it to ground down and we want this like grounded blessing to come through. Okay. It's telling us not to get too excited. And then I'm even going to draw a medicine card because I want to bring that in as well. I love these medicine cards. They're so cool. Awesome. Okay. So what we get, the blessing coming through is shine your own light. Okay. No one can do what you can do. All right. So be your full, boldest, brightest self. All right. This is your star energy. I've never even noticed this before, but the way the card is drawn itself is this like magical star, like the way that you look through in the trees. And I was just saying to somebody when one of my first forms of like trying to learn how to divinate as a kid, is I would ask the tree outside. I'm like, if that leaf moves right now, then God is real, right? And like I would try to ask nature questions to deeper understand, right? And I was like, yeah, it was, and then I would see things in between the spaces of the leaves, and that's actually what would bring me the message. Okay, so as I look at this space between the leaves, we see this like incredible, how many points is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like a 7-pointed star, right? This feels, which makes sense if that's the number 17, and so that all feels really good. I'm very excited about this. All right. So remember that you're a sovereign being. Regain compassion and empowerment, and remember what lights up your world. Okay. So I feel like the message and the blessing coming from this card too is like Steve Noble always says, like, embrace your weird, you know, like, be the fullest expression of all that you are. If you're feeling vulnerable about sharing something, or you're worried what other people will think or how it will be received, do it anyway. This is the invitation and the time to, like, be your fullest, most expansive selves. And I know that that can be bold and that can be scary and, like, that can shake up a lot of foundations, but sometimes that's just what we need to grow into and step into that next new, brave new, like, bold phase of our lives. Now, the grounding energy, it humbles us a little bit, and it says slow but steady, okay? So what I really feel like is a good practice to enable in this month would be to practice more gratitude, which was something we got from yesterday's reading, to really deepen into that daily practice of gratitude. And what we got from the reading before was to really focus on what it is that you have that is working versus going into any of the lack and fear. That doesn't mean you ignore it, but that means you really, like, focus on the building energies, okay? I think that's really going to support all that's coming forth. I think that there's a lot of, like, inner and outer magic that's stirring, and the medicine card I drew up was number 7, so again tying us back to this 7-pointed star here. And with this metamorphosis, I feel like, wow, I've never noticed this before. This is like a shadow of her old self dying as she steps forwards and blooms. All right, so this is the shedding of the bud so that the bloom may come forth in full spectrum. There's a celebration of, and I said the bud, a celebration of the blood and offering of that, the worth of worth, offering that blood to the earth. That is a really deep, wonderful practice that you can do if you bleed into the mother. As a feminine, I always recommend it. It just feels like a nice offering to the earth of, like, I am here, I am full, I am... If you haven't bled on the earth, it's time, is the invitation. You don't have to do it every cycle or every time you go pee, or, like, if you're cupping it, and you don't have to do it every single time. But, like, yeah, like, just have that little moment with the mother for which we live. I love this metaphor. This feels like the embodied goddess, this spiritual being who's walking the earth. Now, if you're a man listening to this reading, I know a lot of my readings are for the feminine, because when I look at the screen, I see me. So I feel like I'm my own reflection of the collective in this moment when I share, and my experience this lifetime is primarily as a female. Nothing's changed that. Now, I've learned a lot through the men, and I have been watching men make these metaphors, like these metamorphoses too. I think that they are stepping more forward into their power. They're able to speak more to their fears, speaking more to their emotions. You know, there's a lot of shifts and change that I'm seeing, not only with men who are maybe already on a conscious path, but ones who maybe haven't been particularly conscious until more recently. So I celebrate all of you this month of July. Yeah, please let me know what's unfolding in your life. What dreams are you connecting? You can always speak them into the container so that we can all kind of, like, hold them forth for each other. I'd really like to, you know, gain more momentum on the internet, and more clarity around, like, what I'm going to do with it next as that momentum is established. So thank you all so much for being here. And like the channel, subscribe, send me an email if you want your own personal reading. All of that feels super fun and great. And it's July, baby. It's the month of 7. What the? It's all aligned. Look at us. Magic everywhere. Many blessings to you all. Happy summer days. Aho.